Hi everyone, my name is Aubrey Cumberledge and I'm a sophomore presidential student ambassador at WVU. When people talk about college, they usually only talk about the good things. They usually don't talk about how difficult college actually is. There's so much pressure to find an internship, do research, join clubs, excel in schoolwork, and maintain friendships and relationships. And that's within the normal experience, not within the confines of a global pandemic. This pressure can build up and do so much damage to your mental health, which oftentimes gets ignored in conversations about college. Though, when mental health is discussed, it can sometimes feel too distant, like the person doesn't know what you're going through and is just telling you cookie cutter advice. Well, I do know what you're going through. I've struggled with anxiety and depression for longer than I can remember, yet I never sought out help because I didn't want to believe I needed it. I was a first generation gifted student who had always done things on her own. Schoolwork, memorizing sheet music, applying for colleges. I could handle my mental health on my own as well, right? Well, as it turns out, no. And reaching out, acknowledging that I couldn't do this on my own was the hardest thing I've ever done. In fact, it was so difficult, I've only just now begun the process of getting the help I need. So, how do you take that first step to improving your mental health? WVU has some amazing resources specifically for this purpose. The Caruth Center on campus is a great place to start, and this is where I began as well. They have individual and group therapy that are at no cost to you, as well as psychiatry services that do have fees. And maybe you feel overwhelmed and don't know exactly what you need. That's how I felt when I first looked into their services, but really it's as easy as calling and making an appointment. They schedule you with a counselor where they help you decide what steps are right for you. And if therapy isn't the right option, the Caruth Center also has great resources on stress management, anxiety, and self-care tips. You could also check out Well WVU for broader types of wellness information. They have resources devoted to alcohol and drug use, sexual health, stress management, and relationships. And while not all of these are specifically designed around mental health, these areas of your life can unknowingly impact your mental well-being. And I do want to take a moment to bring up the crisis text line. This is a completely confidential 24/7 service where you can text someone trained to listen. Just text WVU to 741-741. Simple as that. And just because it's called a crisis text line doesn't mean you have to be thinking harmful thoughts to use it. If you failed a test, broke up with a significant other, had a fight with a family member, or are just feeling down, this is a great way to talk through your situation and your feelings. Which brings me to an important point. Taking care of your mental health and using these resources aren't only for those diagnosed with a mental illness. A happier, healthier life is for everyone, no matter your situation. There's a lot of stigma around therapy and mental health in general, but taking care of your mental well-being doesn't mean you're weak like some would have you think. Actually, I believe it makes you stronger. Even if you believe you're in a good place with your mental health, doing things like meditation, yoga, journaling, crafting, or another type of stress-relieving activity can be beneficial to your daily life as well. So if you're like me and have been waiting for the right time to seek out mental health services, let me tell you that now is the right time. Now is the best time to work toward the best version of yourself. And I know it's hard. I know that this is a long road that seemingly doesn't have an end, but today is the best day to start walking it. As Lao Tzu said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You just have to have courage, to have faith in that first step. And if I can take it, I have faith that you can as well.